Guys, I'm back again with another video on my new custom LEGO minifigures to showcase all of them. This involves some stuff from Marvel, a couple horror movies, and then some remakes as well. So yeah, and also a figure that's a second figure. So yeah. Welcome to the new showcase. Now, let's get started. First up, Loki from Thor Ragnarok. I would consider this as one of my favorite figures that I made because I made daggers for him, and then I also did this head for him. So yeah, this hair custom sculpted. Anyway, so yeah, Loki figure. I really like how it is. Iron Man, or this is just the Iron Man battle damage that I made. I got a knockoff version from China. I just sanded the crap out of it. That's why, and then I painted those sanded areas with black paint, and then I cut the mask. So yeah, and I did. This also has the new Tony Stark head in it, with the HUD. The only reason you could tell it's a knockoff figure is because you could see the chest. It's circle, it's white, and the back. Don't know if I showed you that. That's what it looks like. Spider-Man from Spider-Man the PS4 game. And as I said in my top 10 review, I only have one Spider-Man head. I need to get more. I don't know where. But yeah, Spider-Man PS4. This took me 7 hours to do. They started out as a whole red figure. I just painted everything on except for the head. That head is Lego's old head of Spider-Man from the 2013 set. And yeah, so as you can see on the back, there is no spider. I forgot to paint the spider on, but this spider should originally be on the back because these two legs of the spider should be facing down, not upward. And then I painted white on the arms, and then what else is good is this right here, the blue and the arms. It was a pretty sneaky way to do it, but yeah. I would say to be one of my okay figures. Not, despite what I said in that top 10 review, I said that this could have made the top 10 list. Not really anymore. Mostly because the spider, it kind of ruins it. But other than that, it's still good. It's still a good figure. Spider-Man from any one of the Spider-Man movies in the MCU. But yeah, this is the same head that I just used on Spider-Man PS4 suit. But this suit was highly inspired by my black suit that I did for Spider-Man Far From Home. And I looked back around, made this figure. So yeah, this was a pretty good figure to make. And one of the best figures that I have made to this day. Oh, and also, I sculpted around the arms like how you... And you'll see this more in the showcase with some other figures too, like Korg version 2. So yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming. Santa Claus is one of my least favorite figures because everything is okay. It's a good paint job. It's just that this beard ruins it. It just doesn't look like St. Nicholas's beard. And also, I didn't bother to paint this on because this was made from Procreate and it got stuck on here until I finally got able to rip it off. And I also used Santa Claus head. But other than that, yeah, the only thing that's not painted on this figure is that part and this part. But it gets covered up by that and the head. Hey, this was the first thing that I sculpted when I got Procreate for Christmas. If you don't know what Procreate is, it's a type of clay that you get, but it takes 24 hours to dry. I don't know why, but you get two halves, mix the two clays together, and you get it. And I also used the Procreate to make these little black things on Spider-Man's hands. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Red Skull, the version 2. Because if you saw in the top 10 video, I did not have this Tesseract, the clear one, or this gun, or this head. the head that I painted on was terrible, so I finally opted that Lego's head was better. But yeah, this is the first trench coat that I did. The red dots on the chest and on the arms stand for the Hydra symbols. So yeah, Red Skull. This is the second version of him. I'm not making any more versions of Red Skull. But yeah. So that was good to do. And that's Red Skull. Hugh Jackman, the Wolverine, was good. It was a good try. The head being inspired by Michael MGF's Wolverine from Days of Future Past and Lego's official Wolverine head. Paint scratches off. I didn't want to try and do that. And then the only thing that doesn't scratch paint is the leg area. But yeah, this took me an hour to make. Now, but this is not compared to the work I did for one of my aliens that I made. That was 4 days. I mean, no, not even 4 days. A whole week of on and off work. But you'll see it later in the showcase. So yeah, Hugh Jackman Wolverine, the Wolverine claws. I was considering what that one YouTuber did. Cut the little handle off. Just glue it on like that. But I didn't think that way. But I didn't really care at the time. Anyway, so yeah, Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, and the last Marvel movie that we're going to see him in, I guess, is believed to be in Avengers Endgame. This is an updated version of my skydive Captain America, because despite what I said in the last showcase, I went back and redid his legs to be black and brown instead of the normal, and then I just used one of Lego's faces from the first Avenger movie. And then this shield is customly made out of cardboard with a dark wash. And then I painted the whole helmet blue to match Captain America. And then I put some glasses on him because he kind of does have glasses when he's saving Bucky Barnes from his first movie. Captain America from the Winter Soldier was a pretty simple minifigure. This is my second version, because I painted the belt extending onto the torso actually. Then I painted some more arm pads onto the shoulders. And then actually something that I was really proud about was this. I made instead of using hot glue to make a shield, I scrapped that version and I made it out of Procreate. The same thing that I made on a figure, like for example this figure. I'm not going to show you the face because it's going to be a spoiler to show you what's in it. Yeah, this is, and then I sanded the whole thing to make it look like a shield that's been used and scratched up. But yeah, Captain America's shield from Wakanda. Okay, so like for example, my Captain America that I had in my top 10 video, I'm gonna have it in this video. I cannot make a design similar like that, but in navy blue. That's just too hard for me to do. Spider-Man from Far From Home. I have 2 suits now from Spider-Man Far From Home. I said I wouldn't probably make this figure, but I looked at it and then I was like, okay, I'll make it. I made it, and then I saw the trailer 2 weeks later, and I was like, okay, yeah, that was good. It was a good thing I made that. So, but yeah, what's even less fun about it is that I had to paint a little black on the gray, and then I had to paint around the whole arm. And then I would consider this to be one of the best chests that I painted. And you'll see some more good chests that I painted in the showcase later on. But yeah, Spider-Man. I even painted a little shield symbol on there. Oh, the back. The back of the head. Way harder than the front. Back to the back of the minifigure. Pretty simple. M'Baku from Avengers Infinity War or the Black Panther movie, whichever you prefer. This was a sculpting process with Procreate. This was too hard for me to make. It took days of sanding to actually get it right, and carving. This was even sculpted and then super glued in place. The hairpiece is glued in. It's not the Zayn Ninjago hairpiece from the Lego Ninjago movie. But yeah, and this black, this cape, it's not a normal minifigure cape. It's a sculpted cape. Like, if you saw something, if you watch Michael MGF, it's custom Batman vs. Superman showcase. If you saw that Batman armored, that had a sculpted cape. It was highly inspired by that, by the person who made that. But yeah, and then the sculpted parts right here on the side of it before it reaches down to the shoulders were actually inspired by my Lego Pennywise figure out of all the things. And I sculpted on these little armor plates on his arms. And you can't tell, but there's like a little line separating because where the triangles are actually made out of cardstock from anything. And it's also made from the same materials. I've used them on my Lego minifigures to make like waist capes. And it's made out of the same stuff that I use this cape for. But yeah. So, there we go. So, you probably don't know who this guy is, but it's actually that one guy who got eaten at the end of Venom, if you watch the movie Venom. But yeah. Anyways, I ran out of Lego pistols, so I'm using these pieces from now on. Now, this was a pretty simple minifigure to make. This face actually came in that one set, the T-Rex transport set that my brother got for Christmas. He let me use this set. It took a couple of convincing to make my brother. And also, that I don't leave links, and he is barely starting his YouTube channel. He hasn't even uploaded a video yet. But yeah, I didn't have any of the color of these hands, so I'm using black hands for like gloves. And I did not bother to make a trench coat. And also, something that I do want to mention, he had tattoos on him. I'm probably going to go back to this and paint tattoo details all over him. And also the hair, this was originally black. I just repainted it black and then painted that little silver thing on. And new figure. Okay, this guy is from Iron Man 1, and he rides the Ironmonger like how you saw in my last showcase. But yeah. He is the one who fights Iron Man at the end of Iron Man 1. And he dies by electrical things. This was a failed attempt to make a suit. I tried to copy my Carlton Drake from my Venom showcase, if you remember that, but I couldn't make it all over again. Bucky Barnes from the Captain America: The First Avenger was a pretty good minifigure that I made. It was only a day worth of work. And then this custom gun that I gave him that I painted silver and brown in some areas. And then actually this head, because I couldn't get one fast enough from Bricklink, it came off of this minifigure that you remember in my top 10 last showcase. So yeah, that's a new figure. That's a good thing on the back. So yeah, Bucky Barnes. Oh, and also, yeah, it does. It has a aggressive facial expression on him. So, yeah. That's a good figure that I made. Captain America from the First Avenger. This is a weathered shield that I put some silver highlights on to be like scratches. And, like I said with that Spider-Man figure, this is one of my best chests that I painted. And also, this is the first Flash cowl that I actually took and modified to make it. The back has that strap on. And the strap extends onto the neck right there. Like how it does. I'm gonna have him smiling for it. Actually, no, that smile looks terrible. So yeah, and then the star, that was a pain in the ass to paint, but it turned out okay in the end. And then these pants were actually inspired by Lego's Captain America Civil War. Their Civil War legs. So yeah, and then this shield I got at Comic-Con this past Sunday. Captain America from the First Avenger. This is one of the best painted chests that I have painted. It took me days to get the star right. Actually, no, it took me hours to get the star. Alright, what am I talking about? It took me days to get to get the actual dark red color that he actually has in the movie. The shield, Captain America shield. Oh, and I am not making using any more flash cowls for this, because Lego actually made, if you've seen the linked images for the latest Captain America figure for the Endgame sets, it has like a flash helmet on it, which is good. So yeah, Captain America for First Avenger. I had to paint the silver parts on his arms, and then the white paint is all wrapping around all four sides, but not the stripes on him. And then the only thing that doesn't have detail, and these legs were actually inspired by my this Captain America that I made. So yeah, at least I'm taking stuff from other figures that I made. Okay, so just to let you know, this next figure, it's the third Captain America that I've made. I took the Civil War Captain America and just repainted the whole thing. I don't even know why I consider this to be a figure. The arms are untouched. That's the only thing in the figure. I painted the straps onto, continuing from the back onto his arm. And then this is another flash cowl and that I've used. But I painted this Captain America so damn well that I guess the flash cowl, it takes a while to take off, because it's really hard to take that cowl off. This one, it's actually good to take off. The Avenger symbol's painted onto him, because this is actually from Age of Ultron. And yeah, I haven't made any other figures from Age of Ultron besides him and Ultron. And the star was, and then that there was blue highlights, which was not accurate to that movie, so I just put red onto the right next to the star, like how he has it in the movie. I don't know if you actually got to see his face. But yeah, that's what it looks like, his face. Then the back of the face, I don't know what I'm gonna use that for. But yeah, so yeah. This is a good Captain America figure. One of my favorite Captain America figures that I made today. Hellboy version 2. This is a real big step up from my regular Hellboy. Like, honestly. And plus, what's even better is I could take these. Well, I can't take the head off right now because the horns will break. But I was going to say I could take it off and put it on this body from now on. Instead of this other Hellboy that I made a few months back, if you remember. You saw from my last showcase, this is my second version of Hellboy, because yeah, this is my third version. This is my first version of my my figure with horns, but this is my third time I made a Hellboy figure. So yeah, another thing that was taken from it was I try to copy the same arm that I gave him. And also, I am not really excited for the new movie Hellboy, but I hope it's great, like the old Hellboys, like Hellboy and Hellboy the Golden Army. And so yeah, Hellboy with horns. Ever since I made this figure, I've been waiting to showcase it, and now here it is. The Mega Predator from the Predator. And this is, and then what I did is I actually sculpted this whole arm thing to fit in right there. I sculpted on the apron, not the legs. Well, the only thing I sculpted on the legs is that and the toenails. And then that too. I filled in the legs so it would look like one piece, and you'll see that on some other figures like my alien that I did too. And then this head was entirely sculpted out of Procreate. It was inspired by a lot of things. By the figures, the toy figures I made, not the Lego minifigures, because there is no Lego minifigures. That is a Mega Predator like this. So yeah, I gave him arm pads and then a brown hands, because I don't have any gray hands. But I think I might change it to gray hands, because I just got some more gray hands. But when I was making this figure, I didn't have gray hands. Okay, the Deacon from that one weird movie with the engineer. Okay, so this digs its way out of the engineer in the movie. But yeah, what I did here was I actually sculpted the head, and this is one of my sculpted heads that I did. I made the head entirely accurate to it. Then I painted details onto the back and on the front. You can see it more on the front than you see on the back, but it's the same thing on the back. And then I painted some gloss all over the figure to make it have shine like in the leg areas. And oh yeah, you can see it now. Like in the leg areas, you could see some dots, like something splattered on there. Yeah, that's supposed to be the wet stuff. Like because the alien was just born, he's wet with all the blood dripping on him. And I am not. Oh, and why did I not sculpt on the thing where it comes out of his mouth? And to be honest, I didn't want to do that. I think it's fine the way it is, just with a little bit of an open mouth. But my other alien that I made actually kind of has like an open mouth that's kind of closed as well. I would consider it to be more closed than anything else. So yeah, Deacon from Prometheus, I think it was called. Toxin, the yellow Venom, Riot, and Venom. So yeah, these were all sculpted little things. I even had one of him, but I lost it, so I was pretty stupid that I did. Anyway, so yeah, Toxin. This is actually Carnage's son, like how Carnage is Venom's son. But the only thing inspired by the comic books was the head, and this is the actual color. But this was actually inspired by my Venom that I made a couple months ago. You saw me do a showcase video with that. But yeah, this is Toxin, and it's a grandson of Venom, the Executioner and Korg. So what I did for these two, I sculpted on heck of stuff for them. And then yeah, there was sculpts, and then it took me hours to sculpt this guy, because this guy was a pain. I didn't want to sculpt on an axe, so I just grabbed a normal minifigure axe and just called it a figure. Well, with this, I actually made it out of a lightsaber blade and a brown piece. This was originally brown. I painted the whole thing and sculpted the bottom. This was originally supposed to be a Stormbreaker that I was making, but it didn't turn out so well. Then this piece was taken from Transformer Lego, where I had it on his hand, but then and also this I sculpted around the hand so it could look more like the actual thing in the movie, to look like it's one piece instead of just two separate pieces. So yeah, they are both from Thor Ragnarok. Oh, and the other two figures that I made from Thor Ragnarok are Meek and Heimdall. And I think that's a good way to close the segment, which is Korg and his very good friend Meek, and they were trying to kill that guy. The Collector from Guardians of the Galaxy. This was a painting process. I had Elvis hair, and then I had a scrap Captain America head that I was trying to paint, but this actually worked out for him. Then I put the little thing on to cover him, and then don't get pissed at me for this, but those legs were originally Star-Lord's. I put a black pair of legs on him because I was trying to paint those, because these legs were the ones that I put on him. But I thought, do I really want to paint a new pair of legs? Because I'm trying to work on minifigures, and this one was taking forever. So I just said, hopefully I have some leg that I painted that I scrapped that could look close, and then I couldn't find any. But what I ended up finding was Star-Lord's leg, and I was like, you know what? Nah, Star-Lord has black leg, blackish, too hard of detailed legs. So yeah, that's what I did, and I put it on the Collector. I gave him gray hands. I'm not trading him out for the Mega Predator that I showed you. That'd be cheating, but yeah, Collector. Leatherface Butcher, and this is one of the 5 minifigures that I have left in the showcase, which is even great. So yeah, I played the game Mortal Kombat, and this figure, I wanted to update it because it looked terrible, and I put this in my top 10. So yeah, pretty terrible for it. So, but I did give him the same chainsaw, and then I sculpted on a fat belly, like in the movie, painted the apron on, and then painted the face a different way. Painted it all reddish, dark red, because it is like that in the movie. I know you might not be fond of the face, but I think it captures the likeness to at least one of the Leatherface is in any of the movies. Leatherface, ugly lady. I sculpted the back end, the chest. The only thing not painted on this is actually highly inspired. This chest piece right here was highly inspired by my Slenderman minifigure that you'll be seeing in a moment. But yeah, this was actually a good paint job that I actually gave. And then the face, it does look like ugly lady. And then the chainsaw, it was another brick built one. Unlike this chainsaw, which I just grabbed from the original Leatherface. But hey, now I have 3 Leatherfaces from the game Mortal Kombat, which is even better. But yeah, this was originally, I sculpted on the hair. I forgot to mention that for my other face I just showed you. And then there is nothing on the back except for that piece of hair that just strips down. I didn't mean to do that, but yeah, this was a good figure to make. Leatherface. Not gonna lie, I'm not making Leatherface from 2017. I didn't really think that guy's performance was really good, and it didn't have anything looking like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Slenderman. I made this out of the woody arms and legs. And then, actually, like I just said, Leatherface's torso was highly inspired by this Slenderman one. And I painted both of them the same. But, yeah, I removed the hands with white ones. Then I put a regular yellow minifigure head. Painted the whole thing white. And you could tell this was the woody arms and legs because of the blue inside. And I cannot move the arms because, as you could see in between the arm right there, there is a little bit of white, and because that is actually paint scratching off. So, yeah, the tall guy, that makes you go faceless. So, yeah, I've been wanting to make him for a while. I am not making the tentacle version, the one with tentacles. I might just make a separate torso piece for it, but that's about it. So, yeah, Slenderman. Not gonna lie, guys, I didn't really find this movie to be satisfying. It was okay, not good, but not like really good, but okay, like okay good. Now for the figure that I have been waiting for, the Alien Queen. This was a sculpting process. This is the most sculpting things that I put on this Lego minifigure. I wanted to put everything into this figure, and I also wanted to make it just like the regular Alien figure. But yeah, it took long to sculpt that head. It was huge when I finally accomplished it. And then I saw a compilation of the aliens, and then this was the right version of the head. So I just sculpted that on Thursday night. Finished it up on Friday morning, and it turned out good, man. And then the sculpted sides on the shoulders were also good. For it, I'll get him out of the way. But yeah, this is one of the best figures, and also the tail. And then I didn't actually put detail onto the back of the minifigure, but I also filled in the legs, but not the upper part of the legs, for this minifigure. Because this was really good to do. And now, let's get to the figure that I have been waiting to showcase. My second version of Predator. Now, this was a big one. It's just taken an entire day. And the only work I put into this was actually the chest, the head, the side thing, just like how I did for the Mega Predator. That was all the work I had to do. Because actually what I did, I went to Comic-Con. I convinced my brother to let me use the parts from this crappy Predator, and he let me do it. I know it doesn't seem like a new Predator. The only thing that I did actually accomplish was this head. It's actually inspired by my old Predator, which was really crappy as well. And then this one, I actually got the skin color right to match the arms and the legs. And it was great. So yeah, and I also sculpted on the back. What is even better is that part of the sculpted back could actually come off. It gets right like to be like that. So yeah, there's like a sculpted part right here. And then if I wanted to make it like a predator without armor, I could just do that and take off this armor. And then when he gets his armor back on, oh, and this is a fantastic piece that I got with the gun and everything. Because look at this, watch. Sorry for putting it away. But yeah, this part could go in like that and be completely even. Like that. Because watch, if I take it out, it looks uneven. There's more sculpted on it, and then like that. My new Predator. This was a good figure that I have made. I really wanted to update this. Oh, and by the way, that chest that I sculpted on was actually highly inspired by this Predator's chest. I took similar things on it. This back piece is inspired by this back too. I didn't paint the brown on. Oh, and also, so yeah. And then the hair goes on top of the gun, so it could be like his hair is dangling. Anyways, so yeah. And I think that just about wraps it up for this long showcase that I have been doing. So yeah, that's it, guys. My showcase is finally finished with all of my figures. Anyways, so leave a like, subscribe, do whatever you want. Comment down, tell me what's your favorite figure. And yeah, because it really does go a long way, guys. Because many people like that. I have worked on all these figures in the past month to pull this off. Ever since Christmas Day. So you could just imagine how much that is. So yeah. Anyways, that's it for the showcase. I'm gonna get going. And also, if they were to make an Alien versus Predator, I would want to see the Alien Queen go up against the Mega Predator. Because I want to see who would win that fight. A fight like that. I know that this Predator kills this Predator in the new movie. That's a spoiler if you haven't seen it. But yeah. I'm going to get going. And then my next video is going to be comparison videos on comparing them, and comparing what I'm going to be comparing is things like, for example, my Thanos against Lego Thanos to see what's better. Anyway, so yeah, that's it, guys. I'm going to go. And yeah, in memory of Stanley. Or should it be memory of... Yeah, this is another comparison. Anyways, see you guys.